Hi guys, I'm Libertman, forced to be alone but free to decide how. Today I want to do something a bit different. This video is more personal, it's a testimony, my own story, one more data point in the growing pattern of modern men living a life that doesn't fit the old script society promised to us. I'm 40 years old, I never married, no kids, almost no friends left, and today I'm going to explain why. Honestly and directly, without drama and BS or any shame at all. Not because my story is any special from anyone, but because it has become common now. Because thousands of men, maybe you included, are ending up in the exact same place without understanding how we got here. So let's begin to explore this. So I'm 40, I never married, never had children, and not planning to. Not because I quote unquote failed at life, and not because I'm bitter or broken, and not because I'm incapable of love. Actually, I belong to the personality type that is one of the most charming and who has lots of skills, lots of people skills. I meant, and I know how to deal with people and how to adjust myself to any environment and to any personality type. So simply I got to this place because life unfolded in this way, combining the external circumstances, the context, the timing in which certain events happen. It's not the same for every person. That certain life situation happened in while you were a child, when you were about finishing high school and having 18 years old and having to go outside to the university or to the outside world. There are many things that impact you in certain ways when it happens in certain moments. And the same happens when the external context of this social transformation that we are living and experiencing in these last 15 years that have shifted the dynamics between men and women. All of those variables gather together, and then that got us into the place in life in which we end up. And aside from these external variables, then there are the internal variables that are our own decisions, and my own decisions with what I see in the outside world, with what I see with the people I have found and share my life with throughout the way. So it isn't because I'm incapable of love as well, because as I said, my personality type is the most loving of all, almost, or capable of love. Maybe the other type is the same, but the extrovert type also can match this capacity. But simply because of life unfolded this way, and in many cases because I have chosen to be like it is. And once I finally saw reality clearly as it really is, I have I have had two long-term relationships that could have become that relationship, the one. Both of those relationships were after my 30s, after when I got to 30 years old. But both of them were one-sided, and in both cases, women saw me as the beta provider that they could lean on financially or emotionally, and never as the man they desired. Especially the last relationship. It took a really toll on my mental health for the last 3 years or 4 years. So it ended up draining me and breaking me, and it forced me to see truth about myself and about women that I had ignored until that moment. After that, I never dated seriously again. I was raised expecting a normal life. Everyone around me, family, childhood friends, got married, had children, built families. Like many of us in Western countries, I was raised with Christian values. Later, that transformed into a more scientific, grounded spirituality, but the expectation stayed. The path was you grow up, find a woman, get married, have kids, and that gives meaning to life. And so when you have 15 years old or 18, and okay, you not only hear that, but you also witness that everyone is doing it. But deep down, I never felt the call to have children. Never felt that instinct. Never had that desire, at least in my case. Despite that, I love children or playing, or I love being in contact with naivety and innocence, that pure innocence, and making children laugh, and who doesn't like it? But that doesn't mean that I have to be a father, or that is my life call. So what I did long for was a real lifetime romantic partner. That is what I wanted. Someone to share life with, not marriage or the big family. But no matter how much I gave, how much I supported or helped or tried, the interest was never mutual nor genuine. So yeah, I end up knowing during my almost the last season of the last relationship is when I trying to find answers beyond psychology and the scientific data. I try to find more information about the relationship between men and women, what was going on with, because I didn't understand that despite everything was working on my side according to what it was expected from me, I wasn't getting the results that I was looking for in apparently a romantic relationship. So that is when I got into the red pill, the MGTOW, all the pills and all this manosphere content to try to find clues about what was going on, try to place my situation in any of those topics in that jungle that was this list of channels that were so different among one another, and trying to make sense what I have been experiencing. So it was around 2020 or so, and I got to know most of the topic of the manosphere, of being the nice guy, especially that one. So having those personality traits that of being too available, too emotionally open, too eager, too patient, having all the skills that we were meant to have according to Christian values with every people, to everyone that we meet, not only towards women. So we were supposed to receive that back from everyone, or from the community, or from women. And at least during my childhood and youth, or initial youth, I hope I'm still young, I actually could witness that was happening in the couples and marriages that I knew, from how women treated men. But at some point in the last 15 years, everything shifted, and drastically. And during my turn of experiencing this, of getting reciprocity and the same personality traits and treatment from women towards me. So generally, women like me and still like me, mostly because of my personality, but as the good brother, as the therapist, the helper, the emotional trash can, but never as a romantic partner. And clearly, I'm not a Chad. Maybe I can self-perceive to mitigate, but that won't fix it. So I was living blind to the biological reality, all the red pill, black pill, and when I discovered this red pill content on YouTube, it hit me, and it surprised to compare everything that we have learned in the past with what reality was showing, very raw, very merciless, if you want. And so women don't choose based on effort or intentions or kindness or emotional depth, especially while they are young. After 45 or 40 years old, there could be some exceptions. So they choose based on biological instinct, most of them, of course, based on biological instinct, attraction, and status, especially in the modern world with infinite options, with the apps. And I realized that if I had known all these 20 years earlier, I would have made completely different decisions regarding my life and about this despair that men, especially the most sensitive ones, experience with heartbreak and experiencing this treatment from women. Even if I got to know that I was going to experience the same anyways, if you can know in advance and expect it, you can make another decisions and live your life from a different place. and to avoid this sudden unexpected hit on your face. So why marriage never felt like a good deal to me? Um, well, one of the points is the divorce facts. I grew up seeing marriages collapse around me, but especially in these last 15 years, not during my childhood or when I was a teenager or even when I at the beginning of my university years. Everything up to this point, maybe until I was 18 years old, everything was stable in the outside. So it was like it was during my childhood. But in the last 15 years, I have witnessed and seen this 50% divorce rate or even higher after research in other countries where it's going on. And so I then when I graduated, I started practicing as a psychotherapist in the clinical field. I saw men losing their homes, their savings, their retirement, their sanity as a result of bad relationships and bad marriages, and then a total mismatch of personality types, wrong choice. Not wrong choice because in vast majority of cases both men and women are totally ignorant of personality traits, personality types, about this integral framework to analyze reality that I am sharing for free in this playlist at the beginning of the channel, as a resource and tool to analyze reality and to filter which people and what kind of people you want to let in to your life, and to filter as a romantic partner or as a future spouse or whatever your goal is and to achieve in a relationship. So yeah, I have countless of testimonials about older people saying don't get married, like it's a trap, right? And I have the chance to live in different countries, Western countries, and it's the same situation everywhere in the first world as well, with some different shades, but it's exactly the same. Then yeah, all this situation took a toll as well regarding personal belief about Christianity and religion, and especially this maybe the last 20 years, churches stopped being communities as they used to be. A healthy community in which we was likely that we find that young girl that with whom we could build anything. In that case, of course, Christianity promotes marriage and to create family mandatorily, and that it was something that I was like causing short circuits to me, because I wanted exactly all the same, but the part of having children and building a family. But all the rest, I agreed completely, and I had already all the traits, the personality traits and values and skills to make that healthy relationship happens and to be a partner for a lifetime, a supportive person. Uh, but in the last two decades, churches have become performance stages, secular, totally secular, commercial, hollow, and all about money, and they treat you better the more money you have, or so they have become businesses for the pastor or the priest, in real terms. Of course, it's not nice to hear, it's not politically correct, but it's my observation. So I walked away from those environments, even though I left behind really good people and beautiful people that I have known in 20 years ago and longer. And half of those friends from those time also left religion and had totally different lives. And yeah, and something similar happened with my profession in health. Both the ones who dedicate ourselves, specialize in mental health or physical health as a physicians or psychiatrists, we saw coming a huge shift in the space, in the, I don't like to call it industry, because health is not an industry. It's a sector, a working sector. But as I saw what was coming with this pharmaceutical system and this post-truth wave of imposing what reality is based in political vision, and whichever government says is the truth. And when I saw that was going to be implemented also in science, and because at the cultural level or even in politics, you can have some relative information or belief coexisting at the same time, even being opposite, because they are subjective, right? But you cannot impose a post-truth framework into science that is objective, and it is the same for everyone. You cannot deny reality, and even less start chasing politically the people who defend objective reality from science, saying that they must comply with the official vision of reality that is totally irrational and unreal, just to justify certain actions to control the population. But anyways, that was another of the disappointments and reasons that made me make a big shift in my life. That also was took a toll because it shifted my whole hopes and dreams from childhood, and everything was like building up as I was walking towards my after 30 years old onwards. And yeah, then comes the loneliness problem. When you end up with almost no real friends left. And yeah, I can say that especially after the last breakup with the last long-term relationship, my second, that was some years ago, I've been feeling lonely roughly for the last 3 years or so. Not depressed, but just got too realistic. That is what ended up in the transparent pill. That is what I share in the other video. And so I don't have many real friends left. I have lots of acquaintances, but what I consider friends, I have just a handful of them, which I cherish a lot for life. Unfortunately, one of them has passed away 5 years ago, but that is another topic that also took a toll on me, and it got together with all these other series of events that, as I mentioned in other videos, sometimes life happens and unfolds simultaneously, and it hits us simultaneously in different areas of life, and we get shaken in a way that we get forced to start seeing reality in a different way, whether you like it or not. So and why my list of friends reduced, even though I used to have a lot in the past, because most of some of them got married late in life and disappeared. They couldn't stand being perceived as losers by society, so as they were aging, they were feeling embarrassed not getting married and not being with anyone, and so they prefer being with anyone, despite love, despite that they are going to be used the rest of their lives by these dominating women that were looking for their better fixer and better provider. Then friendship, great part of friendships became superficial, and also I used to have many different groups of friends that were very different from one another, from different circles, so they're totally unrelated, and it naturally, we both naturally took different life paths, and that got nothing to do with each other anymore. So it was like a natural path to experience this distance with these people that are good people, and I have nothing against them, but they cannot understand why the reason of my distance, the gradual distance. And then also the pandemic lockdowns isolated everyone, and for me personally it was a great time in my life as an introvert, but for most people, and the people who are totally different to me, to most friends from my past that were really different from me, they struggle and suffer a lot, and also they never return in the same way as they were. They got distant as well. They got additional problems to their lives, and they went into some spirals in their lives that they totally forgot about me. And so time made its own work, and it was also a mutual distance, but no problem in the middle with them. Also the remote work disconnect us further. Also by the time of the pandemic, also I got the chance in my new profession and new job to start working remotely, and I remain working in that fashion since then. So I had to start traveling due to my job, and from time to time and to different countries, and to stay some time in another country during the year. And that also disconnected us to meet in person as we used to in some years ago. So I never stay in one country long enough to build deep connections like I used to do in the past. So most friends, quote unquote friends, I had were not compatible friendships. Just people around me that by circumstance, people who later chose a traditional path that I never fit into. Some of them chose another more hippie, new age path that I also didn't relate to. And another one were friends that they became friends of me because I have helped them or listened to them in the past, and they perceived me as a friend, but for me they were always acquaintances because we were too different, even though they were and are good people, but we are totally different. We have nothing in common in our lives, and they are not the bunch of people that I consider to be my friend or that I would choose for my circle. Then the final realization was that the woman that I would want, it doesn't exist in large numbers. So after all the knowledge I have accumulated, I got to the conclusion that there are good, mature, compatible women, but they are a few, and most are already taken and young when they were young. And I'm not willing to be with anyone that is incompatible anymore because I don't need to be with anyone or with someone just because I feel good being alone because I'm an introvert. And I'm not willing to compromise my peace anymore. I've learned the value of peace, and now I protect it with all my strength. Because I knew the opposite, and I don't want to repeat or have to go through that emotional chaos and ups and downs of breakups and all. Is too damaging to me, to my personality. So the rational decision is simple: to stop pursuing dating in the last years without labeling myself as micto. I have been having a micto lifetime or path without knowing it. But I don't consider myself falling into any label. But from that moment, I am living my own life and building my world, trying to figure things out in my own life. And if one day life surprises me with a unicorn, with a well, that's fine. But if not, it's also fine. It wasn't fine these last years. It's been years of suffering, of not understanding, despite I have quite amount of knowledge from science and from what I consider life itself. Regarding relationships, but in theory, and then once you start having certain experiences in your own life and you gather that with all the testimonials and evidence gathered from the endless people and patience, and then you start seeing reality in a different way and making other decisions. So now let me speak directly to you if you are 30 or 40 or 50 or older, and your life looks like this situation. You are single, no children, no long-term relationship. You have few or no friends, the type of friends that you would choose, a career that you built alone. You're feeling misunderstood by anyone, or by you're surrounded by a female environment, or in your family, or you feel misunderstood by a group or by anyone. So you're not alone. So in fact, this is becoming the statistical norm for modern man. And one of the reasons I felt to create this channel, to think about what we are going to do in the future by being single men. Whether you are single by choice, you are single because you are involuntarily celibate by the choice of women, by any reason, but you are single. And if there is 90% or 95% that of probability that you are going to end up single, then I thought, why not start thinking about strategies and how to deal with it in a healthy way, and how to create a different future from the one that we had dreamt or expected. And in case time confirms this fact or this probability, because future can still bring a total different time for all of us, regardless our age. But as we don't know, if things go on in the way they are now, we are leading towards a future of forced solitude, and or even loneliness for most, unless starting knowing yourself, starting knowing the tools you have to create a different reality that might be actually fulfilling and for you. And that is why it's important that you tailor life to your needs and to your specific situation. So many of us come from different backgrounds, different cultures, but we are all getting the same outcome. So what can you do? First, to stop worrying about women. Start worrying. If you are going to worry about yourself. There are many situations going on in the outside world, in the external quadrants from the 4 quadrants model that we use here in the channel. So analyze your life honestly. Heal what needs healing. Let go of the past. It's a process that takes time, and it may take years. So it's better to be getting the party started in that department. Focus on your own projects, and if you don't know, well, start focusing in knowing what are your projects. Change career if necessary. Study something new. Start a business. You can move to another country or to another state or to another province in your own country to start over from a different point of view. It doesn't have to be far away necessarily, but maybe move house or whatever is a slight, at least a slight external change. Build your financial future. you can improve your health, you can focus on building self-respect. So you don't need a partner to start your next stage. What you need is clarity, to know where you are, to know who you are, and how to make the next steps towards your goals. And more importantly, you need yourself. You need to be your ally in helping yourself throughout these struggles and challenges. So that's why I created this channel. Once I realized I would likely spend the rest of my life single, because I refuse to live a life that is not aligned with who I am. And if the external variables are telling me that they are not going to change, especially why I was or I'm still young, and maybe they change when I'm 60 or 65, imagine that there is a whole revolution in the coming 2 or 3 decades from now, and women change and whatever. Yeah, but I will be 70 years old. I don't mind anymore. So my problem is, what do I do from now, from this stage of life until we get to an old age? So I felt a new purpose. I had to repurpose and to create. I felt to create a channel for single men, and as I said, both voluntary singles and involuntary singles, and to help everyone, to help men to build a life with meaning, autonomy, with dignity, and with direction. At least sharing my reflections about what I learned and my own experience, and hopefully that might help another man. So I thought that bringing back my background in psychology, even though these last years I've been focusing in my other profession, totally unrelated, but I could leverage my knowledge from the past, and I can offer some tools, practical tools, to reduce unnecessary suffering and clarify decision making, and strengthen man identity as a person and as a man in this new society that we are currently living in, and to build self-respect and heal internal wounds from the past, and to recover from this unexpected shift in society that we weren't expecting when we were a child. And also I hope that I can guide men toward authentic path, and that they can choose whatever serves them, and tailor to their specific personalities, and not following empty advices that are general BS that don't work. So I want to contribute real value to this community, the community of single men. So with no empty motivation, no fantasies, no illusions, no promises, no just truth, clarity, and honest direction for everyone, regardless the differences in personalities and dreams and goals and the backgrounds. So I don't know where life will take us, but I hope we all make it. So thank you for listening up to this point. If something of this video has been helpful to you, please leave a comment and share your thoughts in the comment section, and please like and subscribe to support this channel. stay strong, take care, and see you in the next one.